Hey everybody, hope everybody's had a good weekend. And I'm just gonna wait for a few more people to jump on, and then we'll get started with the risk management training that I wanna go over with everybody. All right, let's get started. There we go. All right, I'm gonna get started now. So what I'm going over tonight for the most part is not course material that I've created. I'm not an IM educator. I've spent the past 6 months learning how to trade, trading, and learning about risk management more intensively in the past couple of months. And everything I've learned is there for us in IM Academy. And I'm gonna share some of the materials and videos at the end of the session in the chat with you guys, and it'll be your homework to watch them and take notes just as I did. This session is to give you a starting point. I know that there is some newer traders on this call, some not yet traders, as well as there's some experienced traders. So for most people, it's going to be a starting point of understanding risk management and hopefully accelerate that learning process as you continue to learn more. It's not the be all by end all of any stretch. There's parts of risk management I won't be going over tonight, like proper portfolio mix. So I can't stress enough, keep learning. Also, this call is not about a strategy or any particular strategy. It's just about risk management. So whatever strategy you're trading, it doesn't matter if you don't understand risk management. It just doesn't matter. You're probably over leveraging and you're gonna lose eventually if you don't understand this concept to protect your account. And understand exactly what you need out of your strategy to reach your trading goals. We all have trading goals. We want to grow our investment to X amount of dollars. We need to know what that risk management needs, what we need out of our strategy to get there. I'm also not advising you on what your risk management should be, what these percentages or ratios need to be. Everybody trades different. You need to find out what works for you and what works in your mindset. I just want you to understand risk management and then take it from there. So with all that being said, let's get rolling. So how many people here are trading live accounts? So in the chat box, drop a $sign or a couple of $signs in the chat if you're trading on real money right now. There we go. A couple $signs. All right. Awesome. And of those people trading live accounts, keep dropping $signs in there if you're trading real money. Of those people, how many can answer yes to the following 3 questions? Do you know what your risk percentage per trade is? How much of your account you're risking every trade? Do you know what your risk reward ratio is? And is it positive or is it negative? Do you know what your winning percentage needs to be profitable? So if you can answer 3 to all of those questions, drop 777 in the chat. If you can answer yes to all of those 3 questions. I'm not seeing any 7s in there. To everybody that can't answer yes to all 3 of those questions, that's why I'm doing this call. Yeah, I'm learning how to trade just like you guys are. I've been doing it for 6 months, but it's a constant learning process. And that's what the goal of this call is to explain why we need to know what risk management is and how to get there. Okay, so some of you are so new, you might not even know what those questions mean. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna unpack each one of them. So risk percentage per trade. While we don't go into trades thinking we're gonna lose, we all analyze the charts and take trades with the intention to win, but we need to know the what if and what that means to our account. So lower risk gives your account more room. We know this. You're allowing your strategy more time to be successful. For example, at 2% risk, you have to lose more than 50 trades in a row to blow an account. At 1% risk, it's 100+ trades to blow an account. You're not gonna lose 50 in a row. You're gonna have time to adjust what you're doing and work within your strategy. On the flip side, the higher your risk, you're shortening the potential lifespan of your account. You're giving it less time to win, okay? Even if your risk reward, which is what we're gonna talk about next, is positive, you're still giving your account and your strategy less time for success. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run a few snippets of some videos. I'm just gonna let a few more people in here. Of some of my favorite educators and some of the people that I learned risk management from through IM Academy. The first one's going to be an educator, one of my favorite, and a trader, Patrick Kinney, co-creator of the DeLorean strategy, a strategy I trade, something that the growth team is going to be offering as a Zoom, so we can Zoom it and kind of be a little bit more hands-on with some of the new traders. So I'm going to share my screen right now and get right into Patrick Kinney. And he's going to talk a little bit about why risk percentage is really important.
They're both examples of accounts that started with $20,000. And on the left side, this is an account that takes 10 straight trades, right side 10 straight trades. And both of them are risking 2% per trade. So on a $20,000 account, obviously 2% is $400. And so in this case, you lose trade number one on a $20,000 account, you lose $400. Moving on to trade number two, then your balance is $19,600. You lose 2% of that. Notice it's a little less because 2% of $19,600 is less than 2% of $20,000. So for example, if you lose 10 trades in a row, right here, 10 trades in a row, you are left with $16,675. Now, if we up the ante a little bit, like a lot of you guys like to do, don't tell me now, I don't want to hear that. And at 10% risk, heck, some of you guys are risking more than that, which is so sad. But whatever, you're risking 10%, you lose 10 trades in a row, you're left with $7,748. The story is, the moral here is understanding that you need to manage your risk percentage. 2% risk is the ideal number, in my opinion. Now, I do tell people between 1 and 3 is okay. If you're really conservative, maybe you're at 1. If you're a little bit more aggressive, maybe you're at 3. We'll talk about how to calculate that today. But all in all, if you're risking 10%, what you're doing is shortening the length of possibility. Because everybody's going to lose some trades in a row. Been there, done that. Everybody knows that because they trade with me in my live sessions. We have weeks where we don't lose. We have weeks where we almost don't win. Okay, everybody is going to go through loses because remember, at the end of the day, you're not always right. I'm not always right. What is always right though is what? The market. The market is absolutely always right. And so when we are talking about mitigating risk, we mitigate risk by understanding the uncertainty of the market. But number two, this 2% risk percentage calculation. So
that was just an example of two different accounts, both with starting with $20,000 that lost 10 trades in a row, one at 2% risk per trade, one at 10% risk per trade. And you guys could see the drastic difference in the balance. Okay, we're not trying to lose 10 trades in a row, but we're understanding what the risk percentage is, so that we can prepare ourselves when trades do go south. So yes, you have the ability to grow your account higher at 4, 5, 6%, then 2%. What Patrick said in the example, the range we're kind of looking at right now for new traders is 1 to 3%. But let's take a quick look at the compound interest chart and see why we don't have to try for more than 2%. 2% is a lot. So I'm showing a compound interest calculator right now. A lot of you have been shown this. It's something that we use as the formation of our trading plan. What I've got it plugged in here right now is $1,000 at 2% for a year and a half. I use a year and a half because I want everybody to understand that trading is a gradual growth strategy. You don't try to hit $1 million in 3 months. Okay, what's possible with compound interest is amazing enough being conservative. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scroll all the way down to December 2021. So just before Christmas, $1,000 has the ability to be $1 million US. There's people on the team that have hit this. There's people on the team that are working towards this right now with a proper understanding of risk management and a really good strategy, which there's lots available in IM Academy. Okay, I don't think there's anybody on this call where $1 million in a year and a half before Christmas 2021 wouldn't change their life. That's why we don't need to risk more. I know for sure it would change mine. So let's hit that first conservative trading plan with proper risk management first. Then we can all try to be Bill Ackman or Warren Buffett if we want, okay? So moving on, how do we ensure consistent risk percentage per trade? So let's talk about stop loss. Stop loss or hedge point calculated based on your account balance and lot size. For the new or not yet traders, stop loss is an automation on your order or your trade that will take you out of the trade at a set price, limiting your loss. A hedge is a trade of equal lot size in the other direction that freezes that loss. And through managing the two positions, you have the ability to lower that loss. Both stop loss and hedge point represent a total risk percentage you're willing to put out on your account for that particular trade. I recommend using a position size calculator, especially when you're trading Forex pairs, to ensure you're always using the correct lot size and your risk per trade is consistent. Quick peek of one here, and I'm gonna jump into a video that explains it more. That's what it looks like, okay? I have it saved on my phone and my laptop, my iPad. Boom, I'm in there, confirming my position size based on my balance, my stop loss, and the pair I'm trading, because that changes too, because the entry price is different. I confirm my risk percentage in dollar amount. You can see on my screen right here, dollar amount. And then I enter that into my trade on my phone. I don't use the silly little blue plus or minus numbers 0, 1, 0, 0.1. I touch exactly where that lot size is, where it says my lot size, and I manually change that number. I change it every time and I confirm it. If you do this, you will not have any lot size errors. Ones where you go into a trade with way too big of a lot size, usually 10x the lot size that you've intended. With the spread, that means you're negative 1 to 4 pips right away. If that happens, you close it immediately as a loss, no exceptions. You're now risking 10 times more than you intended. It's the quickest way to blow an account by far is lot size errors, okay? So we should be using this tool anyways. Or you enter too small lot size. Now the trade that you intended, that you analyzed, that you took from an educator, now it's gonna be worth much less and it was a waste of time. So it benefits us. For me, it takes 5 to 10 seconds to calculate my lot size. Like I said, it's a save tab. I know what my balance is. I know what my risk percentage is. It never changes. It's quick with practice. It's very quick. And honestly, guys, you should be taking more than 5 to 10 seconds to decide if you're going to enter a trade anyways. Even if it's an educator that's calling it, we want to learn how to do this on our own. And we should be, it's your money. It's your account. No educator, no team member has access to your account. It's your call when you pull into a trade. You should be taking more than 5 to 10 seconds to jump into a trade. So with that being said, let's jump back into another Patrick Kinney video. These few snippets are from a 40-minute boot camp training video. I've broken it down so you guys could kind of wrap your head around risk management a little bit quicker. So we're gonna jump into,
Nevertheless,
this is where it needs to
drop
start.
down, choose your currency that you use on your account. After that, you're going to enter your account size from the balance. Okay, it's a little bit more of a conservative approach to do it from the equity. The reason being is when you're using your balance, you are not taking into account a winning trade, but you're also not taking into account a losing trade. You're being conservative on both ends of the ball. With that said, you're going to look at your balance from your MetaTrader 4 or your TradingViewer or your whatever your online platform is, not your equity. Finally, you're going to enter your account risk, and that is right here under risk ratio percentage. So notice we just talked about last slide here, we talked about this 2% risk. That's what you input right here. So that's what you input right there under risk ratio percentage. That's that 2%. So you guys could put 1%, 2%, 3%. Some of you guys are going to get crazy with me and don't tell me what you're going to put, but that's what you're going to put. Obviously, the ideal scenario is 2%. That's the middle ground. A little bit more aggressive traders are at 3%, and a little bit more conservative traders over here at 1%. But all in all, that's what you're going to be sitting at, between 1% and 3%. So we'll set it at 2%. From there, you have your stop loss amount. This is where, of course, the last video of the boot camp, I taught you a little bit on just how to calculate pips from your head, from the price feed on the screen. Now, for some of you guys, you may want to learn how to do that on a platform itself, like MetaTrader 4, in which you can do that using tools. But nevertheless, obviously, using the Academy of IM and using online resources, learn how to count your pips. You're going to need that. It's going to be required for you. So in this example, this is a 50 pip stop loss level in this example. And then you're going to also want to put your currency pair. You may not think that it's important, but the ask price will change per currency pair, which will actually change the lot size that you're going to be using. So in this example, we have Euro New Zealand. It doesn't matter. You put in whatever you're obviously trading at that time. And then you just hit calculate. And when you do that, you're going to notice that it'll say what your risk is. So on a $15,000 account, 2% of that is $300. On a 50 pip stop loss, that allows me to put in 0.86 lots on that position. So 2% risk is $300.
So I'm going to show you guys on this as well, that on my example here with the $1,000 account size, 2% risk, notice how when I change the stop loss, my $20 risk doesn't change. It's only my lot size that changes. This is how we keep consistent risk. So when you go into a trade and you calculate your stop loss, that's where you put in here, and that's what's going to give you your lot size for the trade and your consistent 2% risk. Managing our risk is taking care of our equity. We're protecting our hard-earned money that we have invested. Let's talk about how hard it is to dig out of a big equity loss, and why we need to know what we are risking per trade. So the last snippet from Patrick, it's another 2 minutes, and it highlights how hard it is to dig out of a equity loss hole. Okay, so this one's 2 minutes, and we'll get through this one here.
Finish your equity, you're actually going to need more to recover. So looking at this, 20% equity loss, we need to gain 25% back. 50% equity loss, we need to gain 100% back. Say you lose 80% of an account, you need to gain 400% back. A lot of people don't understand that, why that is. Well, let's look at this, for example. Let me just sit back here and explain. Let's say we have a $1,000 account, and we lose 20% of it. Pretty easy math. $800 is left. When you are risking 2% on $1,000 versus risking 2% on $800, which one has the higher lot size? The $1,000 one, of course. It's all math. That is why you need more equity to recover from losses. That is why when a market crashes, of any market, it's detrimental and it's harder to climb back up to the top. It's easier to crash than it is to climb to the top, because it takes more to get the same distance because of the equity piece. Because you're smaller equity and the percentage gain needs to be higher. And a lot of people think, oh, if I lose 50% of my account, I need to just regain 50% of my account. That's not the reality of it. So again, this is important to remember. This is not here to scare you. It's just here to put that information in your head, because at the end of all of time, when everything is said and done and you guys are off into the sunset, your ability to manage your equity is your ability to make money.
I'll say that again. Your ability to manage your equity is your ability to make money. I'm not here to scare you guys either. Trading is amazing. I love trading, every day of the week. But it's real. If you look at this chart on my screen, if you lose 90% of your equity, if 90% of your equity is gone, it's not like you have to, just gain that 90% back. If you're left with $100 in your account, you've got to multiply that by 900% to get back to where you started. This is why we're talking about risk management. This is why we, have this set percentage, and we understand what we're potentially doing to our account every trade, whether it's a win or a loss. We should go into a trade knowing that stuff. Okay. So we just talked about the percentage we're risking per trade. We get that it should be between 1% and 3% for new traders. We understand a little bit how to calculate that and keep it consistent. Now we need to grasp what we're going for. What's our potential reward for the risk that we're taking per trade? And I will add that this answer to this second question directly affects the third. They're absolutely tied together, okay? Which is winning percentage. So I'm gonna get into another video. I did this on purpose to show you guys that this information is there for you in IM Academy. These are actual educators and professional traders. I am not. So he is going to put risk percentage, risk reward, and the profit calculator together and go through a series of trades, 11 to be exact, to highlight why we were doing this and why we're learning this, and why we need to master this. So this is a 60-minute video that I've cut down to about 10 minutes. So we get right into the meat of what he is doing. And then I'm going to go through some examples with you that I've created. Okay. So let me just share my screen again, and we'll get into, his name is Don Teague. I've enjoyed watching some of his videos, and I feel like I've learned a lot from him as well too. So let's get into Don Teague. You guys can see my screen now. He's already done the first 6 trades. He's about to plug in the 7th, and then he'll go through the process for the 8th, and then the final 9, 10, and 11th trade, okay? He's starting with an account balance of $619. He calculated stop losses for the first loss trades. He's basically highlighting keeping a consistent risk percentage, and in this case, having a positive risk reward ratio and the effect that that has on our accounts.
Cents. 537.37. And this is going to be a 28 pip stop. Again, I'll flip it around to 82 so you can see it doesn't matter what the stop is. The real number here is the risk to reward. Now we are down to 1075. You have taken 8 trades. You have lost your first 8 trades. How much of your account have you actually lost? Well, you lost 2% per trade. We are now at 526.62 divided by 619. We've lost 15 some odd % of our account. We have 85% remaining. Eight trades, 2% per trade, you would think would be 16, but think about it. You lose. You're not losing a full 2% of 619 every time. You're losing a little less and less. And you can see here, every 2% that we've lost on an individual trade, we're losing Or you look at an amount and go, okay, if I were to have 619 and I were to lose 2% on every trade, you would have more than 50 trades, right? You wouldn't lose $12.38 on every single trade because your capital, the amount you have in your account to use as leverage, is going down with every loss. So your 2% is going down with every loss. Is that making sense? I hope so. I'm talking to a recording at this point. As I said, that's what I was going to do for the first half here. So I'm hoping it makes sense. If it doesn't, you know, you can hit me up. You can ask me questions. My info is there on the screen scrolling across the bottom. Okay? Or you can ask in one of these live sessions. If you're on a session live and you see me in there, Forex Secrets Unleashed, you can ask me there. But hopefully this is making sense right here. So now let's go in and let's look at some winning trades and see how we would calculate those and what those would do to this, again, mythical account. On the first trade we're looking at, you've seen it here posted on the screen. Prior, this is a 5.7, 5.7 to 1 risk to reward ratio. Now, again, all of the trades that I'm showing you on this example are in hindsight. They are very valid trades as far as how they might have been taken. I'm not going to get into that on this webinar, but you can see that we are going for a very high or low risk to reward, however you want to call it, right? I say it's a low risk to reward because you have a 5 to 1 reward to risk, even though most people will say it's a risk to reward of 5 to 1, whatever. It's however you want to look at it. So this is a 16.6 pip stop loss. How much do we have in our account right now? 526.62. So we still need to get the position size calculator. Okay, so we have 526.62, and this stop was 16.6 pips. Calculate. So our first trade is a 0.06 lot size. Now, I don't know many brokers that will let you take a 0.063, right? You can go down to a 0.01 or a 0.06, but you can't go to a 0.063. Whatever that second digit is, in this case it's a 6, don't change it, okay? Don't change it. And if I run across an example, I'll show you what I mean later. So this one is a 0.06 lot size. So let's take a look and see where we're at. So we're going to start here, Euro USD. I'm going to change this to a 0 because I'm going to make it easy for calculations. Again, the amount of pips wouldn't matter, or the opening and closing price doesn't matter here. It's the pips that count, right? A pip at 0.97 is the same as a pip at 1.23, right? On price, not on lot size, on price. So this was a 0.06 lot size. And let's change that back to USD. And we have what? 94.7 pips on the win. So 0.9470, right? Nope. How about 0.94.7? There we go. Right? 56.82 for the win. Okay. We're getting back up there, right? We've had a win. We're going in the right direction. This one trade that we've won basically corrected 24, 33, 42, almost 4.5 trades that we won from here. Let's go take a look and see what I've got next. Next, this is a risk to reward of 5.6, 5.6 to 1. We're now looking at a 19.8 pip stop. We're looking at a 110.8 pip gain. So let's go plug in some numbers. First, we have an account size now of 583.44. Again, our 2% hasn't changed because that's what we're risking. Even though we know we're going to win this trade because we're looking in the past, we can't change the numbers here to make it look better than it would have been, because that's not right and that's not how the real world works. So 2%. And what did I say on the loss? 19.8 pips. Calculate that. This is what I'm talking about with don't adjust your lot size. Obviously, with what we're doing in hindsight with 2020, we could bump this win up to a 0.06 to calculate that and make the numbers look a little better. But you don't know it's going to win when you take the trade. You want it to win. You're looking at it thinking it's a high probability, but you still don't know. So you have to go with a 0.05 to keep it at 2% or less. You just have to. So this is a 0.05 lot size. And the win was what? 110.08. So 110, I say 110.08, but how about 110.8? 55.4. Okay. With two trades, we have corrected 8 losses out of 2 trades, right? Make sure I did the numbers right. Look at the profit, 0.05, yes. Okay, there we go. With 2 trades, we've already corrected 8 losses in just 2 trades because we have our risk to reward set at a level, and on the trades we're going for more than 5 or 10 pips, right? Excuse me. Let's look at our last trade. Our last trade is a 4.89 to 1 risk to reward. We're doing a stop loss of 20.5 pips. We currently have 638.84 in the account. Again, 2% on the risk. And since I have a very short-term memory, 20.5 on the stop. Calculate, boom, 0.06 on the lot size. Let's go to the profit calculator and do a 0.06. And we will see where 100.2. So this is a $60.12. There we go. We grew our account by 13 some odd percent.
So that's a 8 win or 8 loss, 3 win trade streak, and grew his account by 12+%. So that's just an example of how he understood what his risk percentage per trade was. So that risk percentage per trade protected his account during that losing streak. And because he had a positive risk reward ratio, he was quickly able to wipe out those losses and get into profit. Okay. Just food for thought stuff for you guys to really try to understand as you're picking in trading through a strategy. Okay. I've created a couple of examples myself. His risk reward was 1 to 5. And the more positive the risk reward, the lower the winning percentage needs to be. And that's what we're going to get into. The last topic of the night is understanding what our winning percentage needs to be in order for us to be profitable. Okay, so I'm going to jump into a Excel right here that you guys can see. We're going to start off going over some negative risk to reward trades. Okay. So this one is starting balance $1,000. Risk reward is 2 to 1, so negative. So we're risking, say, 20 pips, and we're going for 10. Okay, and we win our first trade. We lose the next 3. Our wins are $10. Our losses are $20. Risk is still consistent, 2% per trade, and we go through 13 trades. And let's take a look at what the winning percentage needs to be. $69%. So 69% to break even on a 2 to 1 risk reward strategy. Let's go to 5 to 1. So we're risking 50 pips and we're going for 10. You'll notice the dollar amount for the wins are lower because we're still risking 2% of our account. Because of the risk reward ratio, our dollar amount is lower. We're getting less than the first strategy. Okay, and you can see here, I basically did the same thing as Doug. I just made it a little bit quicker for you guys. So on this one, let's see what our strategy. We can see that we only lost 2 trades, so we're 11 to 13. What's that percentage? It's 84%. Very, very modest growth. We're at under 1% there on a 5 to 1 risk reward ratio. Okay. And the last negative example I'm going to give you guys is a 10 to 1. So we're risking 100 pips and we're going for 10 here. So again, only risking 2% of our account. That means our wins are a little bit smaller, but our max losses are still $20. Okay, we're still keeping that 2% risk per account. You can see here that this winning percentage is definitely higher at 92%. So if you're trading at a 10 to 1 risk reward ratio in the negative, then you would be looking at having to win 92% of your trades. I need you guys to know that. Okay, let's move over into a positive one, closer to Doug and Patrick's examples. Okay, this is a 1 to 2 risk reward. Like Doug said, you can call it whatever you want. You just understand, it's either positive or negative. This is a positive risk to reward. So we're risking 10 pips and we're going after 20. Okay, this is the DeLorean strategy. The minimum in the DeLorean strategy is 2 to 1. We don't take the trade unless it's 2 to 1. So here we've lost 8 trades, similar to Doug's example, and we've won 5. We've more than broken even. We're at 3% growth, and that winning percentage is 38%. So that means you need to win 38% of your trade to basically break even and have a little bit of growth. Let's go over into a little bit more of a positive risk reward ratio. This one's 3 to 1. You can see we've lost our first 9 trades here. The risk is all falling on the balance. So it's all 20% of the balance. So just like Patrick and Doug's example, we're continually losing less. And then we come off with a couple of wins. I noticed it took us 30 minutes of this call to even talk about winning any trades. Not to try to scare you guys, but I want you guys to understand how to protect your account. On this risk reward ratio, we're at 30%. So we need to win 30% of our trades in order to break even or be somewhat profitable. Last one here, our second to last one, 1 to 5. So really close to what Doug's example was on 13 trades. We only had to win 3 out of 13. So what are we looking at here? $23%. And I'll quickly show you guys what a better winning percentage would look like. So if we were 50% on a 2 to 1 risk reward ratio, we could look at about 10% growth in our account. And if we were hitting 60% on a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio in the positive, we'd be hitting about 36% of our account. Okay. So that's just understanding those three concepts. What are we risking per trade? What's our risk? And what our winning percentage needs to be in order for us to reach our trading plan goal. So now you guys get to take all of that and study more. Okay. I'm gonna drop some links in the chat, and I expect you guys to learn more about risk management. Trust me, a 30-minute lesson by me is not nearly enough. And then you just apply what works for you. You guys come up with what's your risk percentage, what's your desired risk to reward ratio, track your winning percentage. And, you know, that's basically what I wanted to go over tonight. So I hope that's a starting point for you guys to understand that. It's something that, you know, took me a few months to understand. Let's open it up for some Q&A. Just drop something in the chat if you want to ask me a question. And then after the Q&A, I'm going to briefly preview the new trading plan that we're going to be rolling out for some team members. That's in beta testing that me and one of the team members, Tomo, has developed. But go ahead and, you know, if you guys want to ask me a question right now, just drop something in the chat, and then I'll unmute you and you guys can ask your question. All right, it doesn't look like anybody has any questions. Yes, Brent, I'm gonna drop some links to the position calculator in the chat. Let me just drop these links right now. So this is the one that I use. It's the same one that was used in the videos by Patrick and Doug. This is Doug's video right here, the 60-minute video on risk management. That guy right there is really helpful for me. And then Patrick, he actually put his videos on YouTube. So if you don't have the DeLorean strategy, you can't get into Patrick or Tyrone's videos. But he has a DeLorean 5 series boot camp on that strategy. And his second video is 100% about risk management. So those are some, you know, study material for you guys. It was really helpful for me. And, you know, it's not the end of learning risk management, just watching those 2 videos, but, you know, just keep going on that, and you guys will do great. And so if anybody has any more questions, just feel to, you know, drop something in the chat. I'm just going to briefly show you guys something that I'm really excited about that we've got coming for the team. It is a trading plan with some kind of built-in features that we can track daily percentages. It's got somewhat of a compound interest calculator built into it as well too. So I'm just going to share my screen before we end the call and show you guys. We're going to be beta testing it in the next couple of weeks to kind of work out the bugs. But this is it. It will pull and export from some brokers. So we've been working with Hugo's Way right now. And the export that we get from MT4 on the PC, it's basically just a Excel or HTML file. We put it in the same folder as this template and just hit update account history. It'll import all of your orders. So this is kind of an example right here. So you can keep track of that, keep track of your daily percentages, win ratios, and kind of where you are against your trading plan. It'll give you a weekly report and a monthly report. And then this is where you can have, you know, a little bit of a compound interest calculator function. So you can kind of set your goals. So say you wanted to do 2% interest, it'll recalculate it. That's 200%. So 2%, it'll recalculate it based on your initial starting balance. So you can play around with that. And then it pulls it over so you can kind of see what your planned balance should be, what your overall profit is. It keeps track of your withdrawals. So I think that this is going to be a great addition, helping us with our risk management, helping us get to our trading plan goal. And so I look forward to testing that in the next couple of weeks with a couple of team members, and then releasing it to everybody on the team. So that's it. Went calling a little bit longer than I thought, but it's an important subject. Feel free to reach out to me in the growth group chat. I really enjoy trading with you guys and learning and sharing any knowledge that I get. So reach out to me if you guys need any help or have any questions. Yes, Ali, I'm going to be uploading this to YouTube and sending everybody the link so that they can review it. So yes, everybody's going to have that link and they can rewatch it. And for some of the people that weren't able to make the meeting, they'll be able to check it out as well too. You're welcome, Aaron. You're welcome, Ali. Appreciate you guys' time tonight, and you guys have a great rest of your Sunday, and good luck trading this week. Take care, guys. You're welcome, Peggy. All right. Good night, guys.